Hello and welcome. Swimming trunks? This can only mean one thing.
That you need to clean your clothes.
Summer! Welcome to Summer Bummer, the place where I review bad movies that were released in the summer. So we are reviewing Scooby-Dooby-Doo, released in 2002 in June, the movie. Anyway, Scooby-Dooby-Doo starts with the gang at a toy factory trying to stop the Luna Ghost, and they're all bickering at each other like a married couple. I mean, come on. Anyway, after they get done bickering, they catch the ghost, and then all of a sudden, Alicia Silverstone bursts through the wall! Holy crap! Anyway, after Alicia Silverstone is done doing that, all the gang bickers and they split up and stop being friends. The first problem you see with this movie is that they're all out of character. I mean, really, why would they all stop and break up? Now you may say, but they're trying to be interesting for a movie and original and more adult. And to that I say, one, that is the ripoff of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, where they did the exact same thing, but instead of being buttholes to each other, they actually came up with a good reason to leave. It's not that they didn't want to be friends anymore. It's the fact that they wanted to pursue new life paths in life. So to that argument makes no sense to me. And second, they were just buttholes to each other for no reason. And none of the gang is buttholes, especially Fred. Fred was never the jerk. He was just an oaf. A jerk, not an oaf. Not a jerf. Anyway, yeah, that's the beginning.
Oh man, talk about toasted.
Oh, come on, you clearly knew what you were doing. So Mr. Bean comes knocking at the door, and he's like, come to our haunted park, and they're like, no way, man. So, and then he's like, I'll give you free food, and he's like, sign us up. Anyway, Shaggy and them meet all the former gang members at the airport, and they're all talking about how they made achievements. Fred wrote a book, and Daphne became a martial artist, and Thelma worked for NASA. Anyway, yeah, so they're all talking about how good they are, and Shaggy brings Scooby on the airplane with them. By the way, if you're wondering why they're all there, it's to all solve that mystery, the same mystery that Mr. Bean guy brought up to them. Anyway, they all get on the plane, and for mother of all things, Shaggy meets a girl, and guess what her name is? Just guess. Like, for real. Just guess. Just guess. Just guess. It's freaking Mary Jane. Really? Mary Jane? Come on. Enough with those references. Really? Mary Jane? Ah! No, that seems like something to get... I know it seems something not to get mad about, but just is for some reason. It just makes me mad. Freaking Mary Jane. Really? How obvious could you be? Anyway, after they get off the airplane, Mr. Bean explains the mystery. Because all these college kids that are well-behaved, at the end of the trip, they come back non-well-behaved. And my response to him is, angry college kids is just a normal thing. So, the gang can just leave, like, for real. Mystery rap, they're just angry college kids. But no, he thinks there's a mystery involved. So, the gang all decides to split up. Fred with Velma, no, not Daphne this time. Fred with Velma, Daphne, and Scooby and Shaggy enter a scary castle. With a pretty decent nod to the original show, and then we get a balls joke. There's one of the monsters, and the monster gets, dang it. Anyway, so after the gang gets off the airplane, Mr. Bean explains the mystery is that all these good, well-behaved college kids leave with angry personalities and stuff, and all I have to say to him is, but that's just how college works. It just makes you angry, man. College makes you angry! See? I got angry just thinking about it. Anyway, so the gang all investigates the mystery, and we get a pretty cool set design. In fact, here are a few things that I would like to mention. One, I know this is kind of late to be mentioning this. The set design in this movie is really well done. But the problems are just very bad. Number one, the CGI is poor. Number two, the characters are all out of character. Number three, Shaggy's girlfriend has no personality. And you may say, well, Shaggy wouldn't ask for much. And to that I say, you're not a Scooby aficionado like I am. in the movie Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, he meets this chick named Crystal. And she has a personality of being a desert discoverer. She's like an alien. Really, I wish I was reviewing that movie instead of this. But no, this show is called Summer Bummer. Ah! Anyway. All of those poems just don't amount a terrible movie. And we aren't even finished yet. Anyway, while they're all at I don't know what to call this place, a hangout, after doing all the splitting up, Velma talks to this guy that she thinks is hot about Scrappy-Doo and how they abandoned Scrappy-Doo because Scrappy-Doo peed on Daphne. And here we go with another out-of-character piece of crap. They would never leave Scrappy behind. First of all, that's also out of character. They would never leave Scrappy behind. Scrappy was annoying to them, yes, but they aren't cold, heartless pieces of crap. I mean, really, they aren't that. So that's another out-of-character moment. In fact, that's my biggest problem with this film. Out-of-characterness. It's just so... Anyway, Fred and Velma are abducted by the monsters. Daphne, Shaggy's girlfriend, and Shaggy and Scooby, they escape, but Fred and Velma are captured. Then another out-of-character moment from Shaggy, which makes me angry. Then they wake up the next morning, and they see that Fred has contracted I'm a white male disease.
He got beats like it was the listeners on her. You know what I'm saying?
Side effects may include acting super white, having terrible fashion sense, and listening to bad music. Caution is advised. Anyway, it turns out that Fred was possessed by the monsters, so they chase after Shaggy and Scooby. They have a cool four-wheeler chasing. Also, Shaggy's girlfriend is on his back, and they drive away, and so that's what Samantha does. So it turns out Shaggy's girlfriend is a monster. Scooby tells Shaggy, but Shaggy doesn't believe him. They get into a fight. He falls into a hole, and it turns out Mr. Bean runs a sacrificial ritual trying to absorb Scooby. And hang on, move to the next scene. Next scene. No, I'm not gonna acknowledge who the villain is because it makes me so deadgum angry. No, I'm not. Okay, fine. It's freaking Scrappy Dappy Doo. It turns out that Mr. Bean guy was a robot, and it was freaking Scrappy-Doo. That is the dumbest twist I've ever heard. I hate it so much. That twist is so stupid. And then the giant Scrappy tries to kill Scooby. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense, and, hang on, I think I need to come. After they defeat Scrappy, it turns out the real Mr. Bean, the real one, was in prison. They take care of all the monsters, and finally, the movie's over, yay! But now I gotta give my analysis. Alright, first problem, and biggest problem for me is, they're all out of character. They don't act like the gang. They act like angry, obsessed YouTube parodies. And look, it would be fine if this was a YouTube parody. In fact, it would still be pretty bad if it was a YouTube parody. But at least it would have an excuse. But they all act out of character. It's really annoying. And it's just... them acting all out of character is my biggest problem. Second, Shaggy's girlfriend doesn't have any personality. The main problem in this film, it ain't bad comedy like most other films that are modern reboots. It's the characters. For example, Fred's a jerk. The only good thing is that Daphne kicks butt. But like for real though, everybody is a jerk. I mean, dang. Well, except for Shaggy. Well, Fred is mostly a jerk. But I mean, come on. All the characters, they don't act in character. And if you're gonna make movies about characters, at least make sure they act in character. The only one that acts in character is Shaggy and Scooby. Heck, Scooby-Doo even has two problems. Scooby's CGI, while it doesn't look that bad, but compare it to Gollum, or Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, the Twin Towers, I think it was, came out the same year with Gollum in it, and he looked great. But Scooby-Doo came out the same year, and he didn't look nowhere near as good. He looked like a PS2 graphic. Another thing that's a problem with this film is Scooby's voice. He's voiced by Neil Fanning in this film, an Australian stuntman. While Neil Fanning, he does an awesome He does a pretty good job, I guess I should say, but he doesn't sound like Scooby-Doo. He more sounds like an impression of Scooby-Doo. Now you may be going, yes, but that's what Scooby-Doo is, an impression. No, what I mean, like, he literally sounds like me doing an impression, just like another guy doing an impression of Scooby-Doo, and not Scooby-Doo himself, just like a cheap Walmart bin Scooby-Doo. When you had Frank Walker, you could have got Frank Walker. He's been the voice of Scooby-Doo since 2002, which is when this movie came out, and he just started in the What's New series. I mean, come on. But there are some good things about this film. For example, Shaggy, Daphne kicking butt, and the set design and the opening scene, other than the bickering, which drives this scene down into crap territory. But if they got rid of the bickering and replaced it with good banter, it would make it a lot better. Here's another thing, and here's my final main things I have to say about this film. The final things include, why did they abandon Scrappy? That's just really jerky and out of character. Like I said, his Shaggy's girlfriend had no personality. Fred didn't learn not to be a jerk. Well, I guess he kinda did, but he still resembles being a jerk. Anyway, none of the jokes were funny except for one, when Scooby went keeping it real. Oh, and another good thing about this film is that they make Scooby-Doo black. Well, I guess it isn't a good thing, but they insinuate that Scooby-Doo's race is black, and I kind of like the idea of that Scooby-Doo's race is a black person, or African American, I should say. But yes, the main problem is out of character and that freaking Scrappy-Doo twist. If the gang wouldn't have been such jerks due to their dumb out of characterness, we wouldn't have got that dumb twist. Now, it would have been fine in like a parody movie or like a YouTube video, like I said, a freaking YouTube video, but no, it's in this theatrical. Anyway, the main problems are bad characterness and just in general terrible decisions in this film. Now,